end out an amazing 2023, we are going to partner with Graham, Stephan, and the Money Guys to talk about some of the craziest moments we had this year and reflect on them, give our thoughts on them, and even update you on current past guest situations. So let's jump into the first clip and we'll talk about it. Dude, there are people with felonies working in fast food. I promise you could do it with a misdemeanor B. Yeah. They're desperate to hire right now. If any industry is desperate to hire, it is service. Still true. What does that mean? In terms of get fired, or are you existing?
Yeah, until I like raise an issue and then...
Well, if you decide to be a big boy and take care of yourself, you'll last there for a while.
He's not hungry enough.
What is maybe?
I just know somebody's going to be like, oh, you think you're a smart
here
kid.
we go.
And I am. I have a degree in information systems. So if I see a way to improve something, I'm going to suggest it.
Why
and then they're
going to have this degree in information systems that no one cares?
We don't care. Spend that time on that. What did I do? Why do I have a degree in information systems if nobody cares?
We don't. No, we don't care.
Why do I even have it?
We don't.
Should I go back to Texas Tech and just give it back to my professors? Be like, nobody gives a shit.
That's not what is going to determine.
Here's the first job that I applied for in the state. Job I'm totally qualified for, overqualified for. I wanted to work for the city, and it was called the Office of Design and Delivery. Odd. Okay.
I was not expecting those laugh tracks from the editor. He threw those in. Those were interesting. But exciting thing, we just learned Mr. Taquito Man is coming back in the beginning of next year to give us an update.
No way. Amazing. Are you serious?
Yeah, and we're getting security. So.
I like how he half walks off. He's like just this and just talking the entire time, and then he sits back down. It would be more impactful if he just got up and left. Kind of ruins it if he sits down, though.
Can I share what I think the biggest thing he's missing on success is? I think some of one of the biggest characteristics I've seen out of people who are super successful is that they have no problem taking on responsibilities, even if it doesn't matter where it is in the scale of their skill set. I remember my mom was a school teacher. She used to brag about the principal that on first day of teacher orientation or the day that teachers come on, helping all the teachers unload their car and put up displays, calendars in the classrooms. That wasn't the principal's job, but it just showed that the principal is willing to step up and do whatever. This person is hungry, struggling to keep a job, and he's saying fast food is beneath him. That doesn't work, and it's just not a good.
I don't know why he's so obsessed with this degree thing. Yeah. It's like his entire life is that degree, not his successes beyond it. I brought up the degree a few times, and it's fine. Okay, congratulations. A fun 4 years. That's awesome. Got a piece of paper. Good. I love it. But his obsession, that's his entire identity. Instead of him actually going and accomplishing something, he's holding on to what happened 20 years ago. He gets offended if you're like, oh, okay, cool, congratulations, but actually go do something with your life now. And then he just freaks out. I don't know.
That just seems like an excuse. Yeah. The degree is his reasoning to get out of it. That's his cop-out. I don't think it's the degree. I think he just needs a lot of humility. And he's not willing to settle. And so it's a lot easier to say, oh, these jobs are beneath me than it is to really take a look at himself and say, what skills do I have to offer? What can I do? Because it sounds like he can't do that much.
Isn't that the definition of entitlement? Because of X, I deserve Y. And that's just not the way that it works in the real world. And I feel like, I think humility is the key word.
And he's got a lot of self-coping. I think Graham nailed it too, in the fact that this is his cop-out. It's a self-coping mechanism instead of taking accountability. It's easy just to say, I'm above this.
So early 2024, you guys will see an update from Mr. Taquito Man himself.
You ought to live stream
You look so young in that clip, by the way.
I know, I got to shave. All right, so let's look at the next clip.
And one of the reasons that I had a lot of loans was because 3 months of living in Connecticut at my current place that I'm living at without any income was $15,000 out of my pocket, which I did not have. So credit cards and loans and...
Seems like a lot of choices, though.
I know.
This is just you choosing.
Yeah, but...
to get... Why'd I have to say it like that?
I mean, come on. I didn't...
The weight, yeah, you can't control that, but you can control what you do in between it in terms of where your money's going.
Yeah, but I had to pay rent. I actually lived very leanly those 3 months, but I mean,
How much debt did you go into in those 3 months?
those 3 months, I would say 15,000.
Insane. Fuck you, lean. That's not lean.
It was my rent.
It's not lean.
My rent for a month is $3,500, and
Not overly expensive, but it's not lean.
my rent was $3,500.
Yeah, that's not lean.
Because that's the place I was gonna live in.
I don't care. Live in a cheaper place.
But then I would have to move again.
Oh, cry. The laugh track again. What?
So the problem was I was supposed to start working
I'm trying to
August.
justify all this bullshit. No,
Okay,
I'm
yes.
not. No, we're
Yeah.
not doing that life. We're not doing the justified bullshit life. Well, it's incredible the amount of money that comes in, but you start with $1.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also trying to aggressively pay down
Into the mic.
Oh, wow.
I'm also trying to.
I think that is like pretty much the most classic roundup of every conversation last year. Just feeling like people had to spend more money than they had to, go into an infinite amount of debt for their wants and comfort, and now they're having to pay for it finally.
I feel like there's a false sense of what actually living lean is, right? People have this estimation, oh, because I don't do this or because I don't do that, that means I'm living lean. I think I got this right. She said in 3 months, she ran up $15,000 of debt. That's out of this world. And no matter what part of the country that you live in, if you're spending that way, you're not living lean, even in some of the highest cost of living areas across the country.
Yeah, I like the 90s laugh track going on in the background. It really adds to it. It seems like she also has this mentality that she could always pay it off later. Like, it's okay now because eventually one day I'm going to get this job. I'm going to make so much money so that anything I do now isn't going to matter that much. And $3,500 rent is just absolutely insane. I agree with you. I think she should rent somewhere way cheaper. Find a room to rent for $1,500 a month. Save the $2,000 a month just by doing that.
So when I'm setting aside money to save for a new purchase, like a car or a home or taxes or whatever I'm saving money for, like an emergency fund, I'm using SoFi. It's a 4.6% yield on my money, and it's just absolutely incredible. Why not take advantage of that free return on the money that's just sitting there? And there's great bonuses for signing up, all the way up to $250 if you sign up using the link in the description below. It's literally free money. I use it. You should too. Yeah, and it's while she's finishing up residency as well. So she's not even in the income position yet to actually be able to afford that. And she's going into infinite amount of debt that she's going to have to pay back on top of everything else that she's borrowing for, and justifying these crazy tire expenses in the video as well. That's just extra context, but yeah.
What I think is interesting is that most people don't realize the foundation, or you call it even the cornerstone of success, is just understanding the power of discipline and deferred gratification. And everybody tries to take their reward or get their flowers on the front end. But if you really want to see the empire builders, the extraordinary people who are you're trying to emulate and try to copy their life, I guarantee if you go back to the beginning, the origin story, it's a lot more scarcity than people recognize. I mean, you see it in Graham's story. You've seen us talk about it from our beginning stories of coming from humble beginnings. And Caleb, you've also shared it. And I think that's what people try to go ahead and pretend, fake it until you make it, but without even doing the scarcity or the discipline required.
All right, next clip. $87.04. You paid $100. Good.
I was going to say I try to pay it back as soon as I spend it. I just use the card for the points.
Brandon, how do I start the
There
is no points to be gained. You're losing to $11.50. What? What?
It's not worth me spending money on it if I need something, if I'm not getting the
You're
points.
losing $11 a month because you're not fully paid it off. Why
Why
add
did
the
you do that?
balance effort?
Because this is how they get you, and it works on most people, and it worked on me. So yeah.
Everyone say it with me. You're not a credit card person.
No.
It's okay that you're not. Do you know what that means?
That I don't use them correctly. Is that what that means?
You suck at them. You suck all the at them. You're terrible at them. They're getting money from you. You're not getting any benefit from them. Stop f***ing around with it. What? You're smiling.
I've done that because I'm not laughing. It's just, I mean, I literally am laughing, but it's not funny. I'm sorry.
What were we gonna say?
It's not funny. I mean, I'm aware of the situation. It's just
No. I said chop them up.
Oh, I've done that before.
And you just reorder them?
Everything's online. It doesn't matter. If it's tempting, it's already there.
And close them. Yes. What was
But
that?
isn't that bad to close them while you're?
I don't give a shit about your credit. Your credit doesn't matter. Your credit, what with the eyes?
My credit score doesn't matter?
No, because you are losing the game. Graham, I love you. I love your channel. I've been watching the channel forever. Whew. This is what scares me. What if people like Tyshawn see the channel, see the credit, your credit card hacking and everything, and maximizing their credit score, and then, oh no, I feel like she was the minority of people that watched it, and she was like,
she obviously
oh my
didn't
goodness,
watch it. She didn't watch it because every single one of my videos, I always say, pay off your bill in full by the time it's due, and never spend more money than you're ordinarily going to spend otherwise. So it's obvious she didn't watch the video, or if she did, she selectively deleted the pieces of advice that would actually save her from doing this. So she's penny wise, pound foolish. She's spending a lot of money thinking, oh, I'm getting points. It's at the points, but she's spending so much money to get the points. They're not worth the money that she's spending. So to me, it's just like, if she watches my videos, she didn't get out of it what I actually said at all.
Yeah, no, she did not get full context by any means. It's just these people, I've had so many people on the show now that all they care about is getting the best credit score possible. And I'm like, what are you trying to get the best credit score for right now? You're not taking advantage of anything that a good credit score gives you. Everything in the credit system is just taking advantage of you right now. And there's so many people out there that they hear the magic that comes with a good credit score. And I'm like, yeah, take advantage of it. Yeah, do it. And then they go and they just act like idiots with their credit, and then they kill me like Tyshawn.
I know. A lot of people say that though, and they're making minimum wage, they have no savings, they're deep in debt, and they say, oh, I need the good credit score because I want to buy a house soon. I'm like, you're not going to buy a house anytime soon. It's more important right now to get out of that debt than it is to protect your credit score.
I think we're very similar to Graham in the fact that we think credit card use is okay, but credit card debt, no way, and the fact that you should pay it off every month. But you realize the typical consumer falls into almost every trap that the banks put out there for them. You know, it doesn't matter if we're talking about the credit card rewards. It doesn't matter if you talk about even when you go into like casinos. I mean, because banks are no different than casinos in the fact that they, create all these behavioral incentives to let you fall right into it. And she fell right into that, just like everybody else in America, where they're not paying it off and they're not understanding the consequences that will always bury them in the depths of debt.
I think the thing that's so difficult is there were small glimmers of truth in everything that she said. Yes, you can use credit cards and earn points, and that can be a positive thing. Yes, it can be bad to close credit lines. It could theoretically hurt your score. And yes, your credit score does matter. But in her situation, none of those things hold true. And I think that's what we have, like a grossly misinformed average public person out there that hears these little nuggets they hold on to. And just like you said, Graham, they do not connect the rest of the story and actually apply it correctly.
Correct me. Like when you're doing travel rewards, cashback rewards, I mean, you're lucky if you get 2%. I mean, 2 to 5%, even if you're getting redemption. Don't pay 25 to 30% credit card interest just so you can get 2%. that there's no arbitrage there.
I would say overall on cashback, 2% is about what you could get if you redeem it for travel.
Yeah.
You could get 5, 6%. Anything over 6% is usually like a one-off anomaly where it turns out like, oh, one airline has this one little benefit for a limited time where you can transfer points from one card to this, and you might be able to get 8, 9 cents. But those are such rare occurrences that might only happen once a year.
But there's no arbitrage. There's just no arbitrage. I mean, you're paying 25 to 30% to get 2%. No way.
On to the next clip. So how much is her credit card bill?
$69 a month right now.
What's her balance?
I have no idea.
So you don't even know how long it'll last?
She won't tell me.
You shouldn't pay it if she won't tell you. That's not something I want to tell you while you're in this situation, but I mean, that's something you need to hear. If you are paying it for her and you have no insight into it, it sucks to say, you being taken advantage of as much as you could be.
Yeah.
Really.
And I mean, I see, like, I want to have a life with her, so I see a lot of, like, everything is like us stuff, and I think, she's trying to, like, protect me from it, so it's not just stressing me out more. But it stresses me out so much.
You need to know what it is. You need to sit down and say, if I'm helping you with this, and if we have a future together, then we need to be on the same page. In order to be on the same page, I need to know what this looks like. I would say that you don't even pay for it in general because it is not your responsibility, and she does need to put some big girl pants on and get even the crappiest job in the world just temporarily so she can work her way out of it. And I'm willing to have that conversation with her on a financial audit. That being said, when it comes to your situation, which is why we are here,
yes,
you shouldn't pay for it either way, but you 1,000,000,000% shouldn't even come close to putting a penny towards it unless you know the balance on it. If she is still spending money on it, that's my main concern. What if she's racking up more debt on it and you're just paying for it? And of course, interest rate and stuff, that's important to know as well. Yeah. But that's scary. I need you to know that is almost disgusting.
Yeah, I expected that she was going to find some work by now.
That was a hard one. Actually, I felt like I started feeling some tears on that. I'm a co-crier, but that poor guy. He's so nice. He's so good.
Yeah. Could you give us what's the background on this? So my understanding is he's paying for is it a fiance, wife, girlfriend, her credit card?
Yeah, context is younger girlfriend moves in with him from pretty far away. They finally move in together. He's paying for her card. She won't let him see what the balance is, and she won't let him see what she's spending money on, and she refuses to get a job.
He's dealing with some self-esteem issues. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like she is walking all over him. He probably thinks that she's the best that he could get, and so he's putting up with a lot of crap because he has no other options. That's really what he's dealing with. And he's too afraid to go and raise any objection because he thinks that if he says anything that she doesn't like, she could leave him, and then he's going to be in a worse position. So it's easier for him to pay the $69 a month. It's a sad situation to be in. But he's got to put his big boy pants on and lay down the law on this one and just stop paying it. I think he needs therapy.
I need to hear from him. I need to have him back on. He is like one of the nicest souls I know.
Have her on. She needs to be the one.
Do you think
I would love to have her on.
You think they're still
together? We've already
together?
talked to him. Have her on.
Do you think
Get her opinion. Pay her to go on the show. I want to see her perspective. Why she's not showing it. What is she hiding? My guess, maybe she's sleeping around on him. Maybe she doesn't want him seeing these charges, maybe hotel charges and date night charges, and she's out looking for a job late at night. Oh, no. There's something on there. Well, there's something on there that she does not want him to see, and that's why.
I wanted to know, I was going to ask Caleb for the context, was this transactional or is it a true relationship?
It was framed as a true relationship, but it's impossible without digging a little deeper.
I mean, maybe this is normal in like courting and going steady relationships these days, but to pay someone else's credit card bill, when you enter into a relationship, is it commonplace for one person to begin paying the other person's bills? Even that seems a little foreign to me. I'd be really curious if you follow up with him. Are they still together? Because this certainly did not look to me like a relationship that would likely stand the test of time. It looked to me like someone who has kind of found a sugar daddy. I think that's the right nomenclature.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to say that word, but that felt there was definitely some context clues there. I will tell you, as the guy who's been married 25 years, communication is the foundation. I don't care if you're doing separate accounts, joint accounts, but if you're not talking about things and sharing goals and objectives, you're kind of on a shaky foundation. So I think this sounds very, very transactional and not healthy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they have a big age gap as well. He's taking care of rent. He's taking care of all utilities, taking care of groceries, taking care of meals, taking care of everything, and her own payments on things. It feels more transactional than I like. I don't want to assume, but...
What was the... how much is that total? Do you remember?
In terms of the balance?
No, in terms of everything he's paying. Like, how much is he paying every month?
Oh, I don't have that off at the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Was he in a good financial situation outside of her, or were his finances, his personal, also bad?
As far as I remember, it wasn't great. It wasn't one of the worst we've ever had, but he certainly had a hole to dig out of himself as well. And this was just an extra thing he had to take care of. Yeah,
that is super sad.
What's not super sad, though, is I learned how to finally get wrinkles out of my clothes, and that's real nice. So let's go to the next clip.
What a transition.
I don't know how to explain that. kind of like got kicked out of like the traditional high school, so I had to.
Why? Why'd you get kicked out?
I was at work more than I was at school, so then like truancy, and then I didn't follow what truancy was saying, and then they just kicked me out because I was making like $2,000-$3,000 a check, so I was like, I'd rather be at work than that, so I was doing that.
Yes, you took out $2,500. What is this for?
That was a personal loan.
Why are you taking out personal loans in your teens?
Because, dang, they just be giving money to anybody. So
they do just be giving money to anybody.
So I went and got more.
For what?
Just to have. Like, I didn't even really spend it until...
But it's not just to have, though.
Back to my car. I took it to the place, and they're talking about coolant is being sucked into the oil. I didn't know what that meant. And they were talking about it's going to be upwards of $10,000 to fix, and I was not having it. So I sold them the car for $3,000, and then I turned around and I bought another car. And my dad was talking about get a less expensive car. I was not having that.
Of course not.
I wanted a brand new car, like fresh that year. So he co-signed this car for me, but he said that, listen.
I'm listening.
So I get this car. It was $33,000. And
you would not do this watching me for a year.
I know, I understand that. But I needed a car to get back and forth to work because my original, the Volkswagen I had, the 33,000.
That's the one that broke in Illinois?
No, the original one was the Lexus CT200. Was the one that broke down in Illinois, and then I turned around and bought the Volkswagen. And then I'm not gonna say who's at fault here, but the car was totaled. So
who was at fault?
It wasn't me, I know that, but there was both parties ran a red light.
One thing I really liked about this guy is kind of you and I, Graham, and he is included in this as well. We kind of come from the same mindset of where we like to work more than go to school. And I know you have history with that, and he had history with that. And I had history with that. I dropped out of college because I just wanted to go make money. I loved that about him. But then he diverged from us a little, got stupid, expensive cars at 18 and a lot of other debt. And that, what a bad way to start adulthood.
You know what? I thought in the beginning this would be a really positive clip. I thought, we watched some really bad ones. Here's a good one to throw us off. And it started off amazing. I like the aspect that he was going and he was working and he was making money. And he's blowing it on cars. And then to sell a car like that, that might need a $10,000 repair for $3,000. It sounds like he just got taken advantage of by whatever auto shop was there and was just saw a kid and thought, we could take him. He'll believe whatever he said. They got a deal on the car, and then he turns around and spends $33,000 on a new car. He may as well have just spent the $10,000 on the repair, which was likely BS to begin with.
And his dad co-signs too.
I know.
Well, I think what's interesting is he's one of these young people who is just, I feel like, poorly educated. Just because he could do something, he chose to do it. He went out and took a personal loan solely because he could take out a personal loan. He asked his dad to co-sign on a loan solely because that's an avenue to be able to buy the car. I feel like if he seems intelligent enough that if someone would have educated him on, hey, here's why that's bad, here's why you don't do those things, here's why you don't go in that direction, I feel like there may have been hope for him, except for when he kept saying, I wasn't having that. Yeah. I wasn't having that. When you're 18 years old, I don't think you get to choose a whole lot of things that you're not having, at least not at that age and stage of life.
And he said it's not his fault on the car accident. Here's the thing. We talk about all the time that for anybody in their 20s, it's almost hard to not be successful if you just start making good decisions. And he was in his teens. So, I mean, there's even more paths to success. I feel so sad that all of his consumption decisions are like massive. It's not like he was drinking too much coffee or, he was going out there and buying designer brands for his clothes. He was actually buying cars and doing other things. These are catastrophic type consumption mistakes that really put you a step behind.
Well, would you like to feel more sad, Brian?
Say yes. Say yes.
Yeah. Oh, no. If I'm not mistaken, he lost about $10,000 in gambling the year he turned 18 as well.
Oh my. Yeah. See, hard work. Do you know how powerful a hard-working person in their teens? I mean, that truthfully is the first step to being able to have the engine of success. But if he's doing all these other things, he might as well just be, he's crippling himself. I mean, he's destroying any opportunity that's out there. That's sad.
$10,000 in gambling at that age, like maybe I want to walk back he seemed like an intelligent guy. And I don't want to be disparaging, but that is, I don't know very many people, certainly none of our clients, who have made it to the level of success they're at by starting a gambling career at age 18.
Hey, me just saying, hey, go buy an index fund and go fix the gambling.
Well, that $10,000 he lost right there, 42 years, 8% return, $253,000 he just lost by the time he hit 60.
It's only a loss if he quits.
Huge.
On to the next clip.
Dude, it kills me every time. You get me. You're my enemy. You're doing the thing that pisses me off, and I'm getting itches in places because of this. $6,584 of purchases.
So that card. So the next two Chase Inc. cards, that Bank of America card's I'm the only one that has a card to that one. The next two employees have cards to that one.
Oh.
So they know, well, I have managers in places they need to fix a vehicle, fix flat tire, pay for an oil change. We have vehicle repairs, things come up. They got to buy uniforms. There's a lot of expenses like that. We pay for Dropbox. So I tried to give you the transaction history for my card stuff and kind of focus on that. The rest is just they're only using for legitimate business expenses.
Legitimate?
Yes.
Is this
not
business
me, but
cash flowing?
No, not really.
Any of it? Just the original franchise? Is that even cash flowing?
No, not really. Right now, it's borrowing against receivables.
How long do you think until it cash flows?
I think another year.
You think?
I don't mind sharing, Caleb. I mean, I think sometimes people want to look successful before they actually have the success. So he felt like it was big ball and move to go open credit card, even give credit cards out to employees before he even knew what's coming in, what's going out. And that's failure. I mean, you gotta. I wouldn't give any employee a credit card until I was at the point of understanding what's going on in my business. And it sounds like this thing's all over the place. It's squirting out all kind of leaks and everywhere else. It's not healthy.
He's been pursuing this business for a long time too, and he's just been building it off the credit cards.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a security company.
It's a what?
Security company. So they'll do, personal security and security for events.
What? It seems to me like the easiest business to run. You just charge more than you spend.
Yeah.
And it's not
it's so uncomplicated.
It's not a capitally intensive business. So long as you have enough revenue coming in, you have to pay employees. Wages and salaries should be your biggest expense. You shouldn't be running up credit card debt on these other things he's talking about, like uniforms and whatever. Tell your folks to wear all black clothes, and that's the uniform. Don't rack up credit card debt to do that. A security business should not be one that is causing him to run that negative, or else he's overstaffed or undercharging. Those are the only two options that could be the case.
Look, if you have...
Well, what's going to kill all three of you is you guys all have business. Grammy got the bankroll. You guys, Money Guy, you have a lot of different business avenues. What's going to kill you about this guy is he would open a franchise of this security place with a business partner. It wouldn't become cash flow positive, but then he would want to branch out and open another branch, and then another branch, and then another branch, well before they ever became cash flow positive, banking on all those different franchises that they open within the security sphere to eventually just blow up and make a bunch of money.
Look, we all know. I know people see Amazon and they say, "Hey, Bezos was using all this money and using debt. He wasn't making money for years." When you're running a security business, you're not Amazon, and if you're having to use debt, you're a zombie business. You're not really profitable. Go ahead and let's shoot it, put out of its misery, because that's not healthy and it's not viable.
You cannot scale inefficiency. It doesn't work. At some scale, inefficiency grows and grows and grows until the entire thing collapses upon itself. It cannot work that way. So this idea of franchising something that doesn't work and multiplying it out is literally building a house of cards that will not succeed. It can't succeed.
So if you guys want to give me a bankroll coffee credit card and a Money Guy credit card, I'll be your guys' employees and I'll go spend up to those limits if you guys want.
There we go. There we go.
Next clip. It worked.
Sharp enough.
So you're ready?
Yeah.
You're ready to do it?
Oh, yeah.
This is all your credit cards? Every single one. Let me see. If you have access to them.
Oh, good.
That's impressive.
I say there's a few credit cards here.
It's insane.
I don't know how many people have chopped up this many credit cards on this show.
Burlington.
Try and beat my limit.
Oh, you've beyond beating the limit.
I'm pulling the 145 right now.
They're also Upstart?
No, this one's marine or finance.
Look how much credit card debt.
Motorcycle accident a couple of years ago, and
Well, what does that tell us?
I kind of pulled one of these because I was out of work and had no vacation time to cover it.
You're in the red, $374. Yeah. So, and that's your budget to survive. That's a conservative budget. That's not you going eating out anymore. So that's without you around. With you and her combined, I need an extra $2,000 a month to come in for there to be any hope. Any hope. Okay. If there's not, we're in this forever. We're dying in poverty and we're never retiring. Which I'm sorry that that's so negative, but that's the reality.
That's reality, yeah.
Even with that extra $2,000 a month, it's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
We can go through the whole process and figuring out how long it's going to take to pay off, but that doesn't really matter because right now we're losing $374 a month. Yeah. I don't know how much money you guys are going to bring in, so we're going to be going full hypothetical.
Yeah.
You guys need to bring in as much money as possible, take care of this, and I think... Yeah, so I'll add some context for this one, too. His wife used to work at Krispy Kreme, and she brought in that second income. And then she quit. It was too stressful for her. And now it's just a single income household. He's actually working 2 jobs. He works a day job and then a night job just to try to make ends meet. But they're negative after they cut everything back on their minimum budget. They are negative because we were, 40 minutes into recording this episode and we were still going through individual debts, which unfortunately has now been one-upped by another person 50 minutes into recording. We're still going through individual debts early 2024. But sadly... Yeah, no, it's hard. And she just needs to go get another job, but I don't think she's willing to. And this dude has everything on his back.
Again, that's sad. When it comes to financial management, there's only 2 options you have. You either spend less money, and it sounds like they're down at the very bottom of the barrel. They can't cut any lower, or you make more money. And they have to figure out some method, some mechanism to bring more money in. If he's already working 2 jobs and he's already navigating that, there's some breakdown here if she's not contributing to the household, at least for a season to get out of this debt hole. Something is awry, but that's the solution is so simple. The hole to fill is so simple. You just got to go create more income, find a way to bring more money into the household.
Yeah, it seems like he's willing to make a change, though. Unlike a lot of other people that you've had on the channel, it seems like this guy really is committed to changing his situation. So I think that's really nice. And to see that stack of credit cards, I mean, it is quite telling, I think, of his intentions going forward.
Absolutely. I just need his wife to start bringing in some money because I think he's working like 60 hours a week by himself and she's not pulling in anything. And I remember just now that they have a roommate who's not paying rent and he's basically subsidizing them as well.
Caleb, you just need to have Three's Company on your show. I mean, seriously, have Three's Company on, play the theme music, and then get to the bottom of, because it sounds like he's willing to be the player that can make improvement, but without buy-in from, the roommate and as well as from the spouse. I don't see how this gets better.
Next clip.
I just don't want to talk about the car, though, because I have to keep the car in order to get places.
You don't, but we've already been over that, and you can take the bus. We already talked about that. Insert the clip now.
And then how would I get to work?
And the 6 bus. You are busing until you save up $10,000.
How would I get to work?
Bus.
Without a car?
You ride the bus.
Oh, the bus?
Yes. You can take the bus. But you decided no.
Oh no!
I want
no bus. I've been taking the bus my whole life. I refuse.
It's not funny to me. This isn't funny to me. A negative checking account is not funny. I understand you want to be positive, but you're also just not acknowledging your situation, which means you're not willing to do anything about your situation. If you are negative in your checking account, you cannot afford a $17 McDonald's DoorDash delivery. You cannot afford that.
That's my dumb boyfriend. I know I wasn't supposed to do this, but it's the only way, so I wouldn't show up late. So I went in the alleyway, and I clocked in at 5, and then I went to go park my car, and that took about 30 minutes because I wanted to get the free parking, so I had to wait in line.
So you have no job right now.
I'm actually doing a cleaning service.
Okay, how many hours are you working with them?
Hardly none. But it's better than nothing.
How many hours?
It's on call. So if they post a job, then you accept
through what
it
service?
Or you don't accept
Oh, this
it.
is one of those like hire a maid type things. It's not like you're working for a company where they have cleanings ongoing that are scheduled and they send cleaners out.
Yeah, I refused to do that because then I had.
Well, you
no
refused to
time.
do a lot of things, and guess what? That made you lose a job. So how about we stop refusing things and we act like an adult?
I just want to be flexible to do the things that I like.
Yeah, Tyler.
Do the things I like.
Yeah, Tyler is someone that we've had on the show a few times now. We're probably not going to again unless she puts any change forward. She refuses to get rid of a car that is like $1,000 a month. When she makes $0 a month, she gets fired from jobs. She won't work. She spends money. It's ridiculous. I love her as a person. I truly do, but she refuses to change. And when we see people literally dying on the Walmart floor in their 90s because they never set anything aside for retirement, because they never sacrificed in their life once, it's her.
How is she ever going to get out of this? Because it seems like she's making a lot of excuses. She's refusing to do what's necessary, but she wants the freedom to go and live her life the way she wants without having to work for it. I'm curious, how is she ever going to change that? Otherwise, she's just going to be constantly broke. And she could only get so broken to the point where she won't get any more loans. She can't take out any more credit cards. There's got to be a point where eventually, like, the buck ends. It's got to stop. And so I'm curious what her plan is after this.
Every redemption story has to have a rock bottom. I mean, if you think about it, because and right now there's no scarcity, there's no fear. It's all about what I'm entitled or I'm not willing to, refuse to back away from this. So she's faking it until she makes it, which is going to lead to failure. And I can just go ahead and tell you that being rich is so much better than looking rich, but she needs the redemption story of hitting rock bottom first.
Yeah, I don't understand. A lot of the folks that I see on your channel, Caleb, are folks that I would classify as being at rock bottom, but they don't see it. How on earth does she not see how dire her situation is? And it's almost like, oh, well, I refuse. I'm not going to live that way. I'm not going to do that. Well, you already don't have the freedom right now to choose the way that you live your life, but eventually you're actually going to lose that. You will not be able to choose anything. And I don't see how these people are blind to that. I don't see how they don't get that they need to change.
I'd say she was rock bottom before this, because literally until a month before she came on the show, for about 4 months in between the second and third episode that she was on, she was homeless. She was living in the car because she refused to get rid of it. Gosh. If that's not rock bottom enough, I don't know what is. And at that point, what can anyone do to help someone? I don't know. That was one of the rare situations, and it's sad because, again, I love her as a person. She's a nice person, and she deserves, like any other human, to live a good life. I don't know what else to do, and I basically have given up on her.
Does she have family to fall back on? Like, can she move back in with her parents? Do you know? It sounds like she might not have a good relationship with her parents.
She does not have a good relationship with her parents,
Wow.
and there was even some financial manipulation in the past.
All right, that makes sense.
But all the more reason to recognize, if I don't have that to fall back on, man, I better do something to improve my lot moving forward. And she doesn't seem like she's in that place at all.
A big indicator of success from what I've seen, I mean, we even have when we have people apply for jobs, is what are you willing to do that others are not? Mm-hmm. And that is not people saying that's beneath me or that's not my job or I'm not willing to do that. That's the exact opposite, and that actually is a turnoff to success.
We'll see if we allow her to come on in 2024, but until then, next clip. Now, this is an exciting one because when the money guy were in town, we met with Joseph, who's been on the show all the time. This was his third time, and we gave him one final chance to meet a certain goal, and if he did, I'd give him $500, and they'd give him $500. And we're actually recording on the exact day that was his last chance to meet that goal. We said if he got his savings to $1,438 and his credit card balance down to $500, we'd give him those bonuses. Joseph came in, recorded a segment that I have not seen yet. We're going to take a look at it and see how far he's come.
Fingers crossed for Joseph.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Joseph.
With the facial hair, a little bit.
In the Caleb Hammer universe. It's an honor to be a part of character content, and as well as that of the Money Guys. And I just wanted to give you an update as far as with regard to from October until now. The bet was, could I get down to $500 on the credit card debt from $3,600, by the way. Also, the conditions were that the credit card down to $500. And then get my savings up to $1,438.
Nice, exactly what Caleb said.
But I'm happy to report that I have killed that credit card. I did get a new one, but we'll get into that. Wait a minute. To give you the summary, I I think I've been a good boy, a better boy actually, but there's still plenty of room for improvement. I did kill the Capital One card balance. I will have
down to $171,000
because Caleb did say the window. We're recording on the 18th, but the window was the 15th or the 20th. When my direct deposit comes in, it'll be on the 20th. I think I have a case here for the $1,000. So, and then the high yield savings, it just sits there. Or that's the plan going forward, because I've had a few little emergencies, or what I consider emergencies. I could not do the bus anymore. While I also needed a new phone, and so out of impulse, I said, let me get tires on my car. And then I bought the phone too, which is basically a $10 phone when you consider that I got 2 months free service. So like $100 credit towards the service.
That does not make it a $10 phone.
$100, so $10 phone when you just factor in taxes.
There's some creative math going on.
Come forward and say that I didn't really have a strategy for savings at first, because that was not the plan. Well, the reason being is because
we've talked about it.
Responsible thing to do is keep 500 or 1,000 saved, and then go toward like the credit card debt. But I really hate the interest. So what I did was I had every week when I got paid, it was like, okay, this is before I had my health insurance, so it was like $650 every week. So it was like, okay, pay $600, keep $50, and that's just for spending. And then next it was pay $600 and keep $50, or some huge number like that.
I love Joseph, but he talks in circles. It's hard to follow.
Taken care of because I'd already put them.
What is he talking about?
And that's an every month thing. Like, I just set them aside. Like, the bills are paid.
I'm counting on you to have the decoder ring to tell me.
I plan on being there.
I've paid that credit card off. So now I have a chance to build a savings. Caleb, Money Guys, Stephan, I probably wouldn't advise you to do what I did, but I got it done.
Did he get it done though?
I think he got the credit card done. I think.
How I could knock it out by December 1st, because I wanted to knock it out like on November 30th, so the statement would show 0. But I didn't really know how the credit card schedule worked, so I got my own credit card and I spent a little bit on it, bought groceries, and then
did he just borrow from Peter to pay Paul?
Still far under 500. It's a win. I did get a new credit card. It's my credit card.
But he said he got a new credit card.
This is the one he's talking about, because he want to get off his
$2,600 on it. You see, because it's the holidays and.
Oh, Caleb, Joseph, what are we gonna do with him?
Here's what I bought from a pawn shop, and it's like, I worked hard to pay this off. I got to treat myself, and it's $2,600, so it's like $1,000 less than the $3,600, and then it's interest free. I'll have it taken care of by February. It's cool, guys. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Not cool.
I didn't spend that $2,600 on PS5, the new Xbox, and the Steam Deck.
After what we said.
What, he was kidding? Was that a joke?
I don't know.
Here's the case I'll make for why I've earned $1,000, because I paid off the credit card. My mom's credit card specifically.
That was the one, yep.
Any debt I have is on me, and I did not purchase all the bunch of game consoles and stupid. What I did was I bought a Geico insurance policy because I have no other option, but it'll pay for itself because I'm just gonna, I miss my niece out of town. I have a bunch of relatives, just out of town, and I can't get there by bus. And I could side hustle, and it'll pay for itself, assuming nothing happens to the car. I will have $1,000 in savings on the 20th, which puts me net 1,000.
So it sounds like you didn't
1,000
do it.
There was only 2 things that we needed to have details on, and I feel like we've gone all over the place, including opening a new credit card.
100, you see, and that would be beating the interest I would have earned in the high yield savings. But yeah, I'm still net 1,000 either way. So, Caleb, Money Guys, it's an honor to be a part of your content, guys. And I want to give a thank you to the audience too. And not just, it's just wild how I'll see comments that like, oh, I just paid off my house, I paid off my car, I put myself on a path to retirement, all these come up stories, and Caleb's not even shouting at you. So what's my excuse?
Exactly.
If y'all can pull yourself out of a bad situation, there's no reason I shouldn't either. Also, if I don't pay off my taxes by the end of 2024,
oh gosh, don't say
no. Shave my head.
Joseph, don't make any more promises.
Also, this is not a meme. I unironically bought a $2,200 insurance policy for my car.
Okay, so let me break down for you what he did.
Yes, thank you.
I'm gonna take 5 minutes of Joseph talking and distill it into about 20 seconds.
Okay.
He had a credit card with his mom.
Okay.
He paid that down. The balance he showed was $176. He said he got that knocked out. He wanted to show zero for November 30th, but he took it down. It was at $176. He paid that off.
Okay.
But then he went and got a new credit card. And on that credit card, he bought an insurance policy for his car. And that insurance policy was $2,600. So now he swiped the credit card to pay for the premium for the insurance on the car. He also put new tires on the car instead of taking the bus, instead of taking public transportation. So he got one credit card paid down below $500, but then he did run up another credit card to $2,500. On the savings goal, he was supposed to get his savings up to $1,438, and he did not get there. He got to $1,000 in saving, or he's estimating that when his direct deposit hits, then he'll be at $1,000. So he hasn't actually gotten there. He's waiting for the check to hit, and then he's saying that he's going to be there because of that. So in my mind, I don't think he hit him.
Well, my question, I heard him say in there that I had to treat myself. What was the I had to treat myself?
I think that was a joke. Sometimes Joseph likes to play these funny jokes.
Okay, I'm going to put my Caleb headpiece back in.
I think that was him. I think that was him just joshing around.
Okay.
I'm still a little confused. I'll be honest. He walked around that conversation a lot. So I have some statements right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Capital One accruing interest is at 179.
That was the statement that he sent along. That's the November 30th statement. He said he didn't quite get it to zero, but he got it down to $179, right? Am I tracking on that?
Yeah, this ends December 9th, this statement. So, but yeah, pretty much. So he didn't, well, okay. So we wanted him to get the
below
card
500.
down to 500.
So technically he did that. However, he went and got another credit card.
How do you not ride the bus for a few extra weeks to essentially take care of over a third of the new expenses he took on the new credit card just by winning and taking our OPM money, other people's money spent so much easier than your own money? Why wouldn't you wait a few weeks before you made that transaction? I don't understand that.
I mean, literally, the $2,500 car insurance premium would have literally cost him $1,000 less if he just waited a few weeks. If he would have just let us pay him, hit the numbers. But I don't think, and you can tell me if you have the statement, Caleb, his savings didn't get there either, did it? He was...
Right. We just got a screenshot literally right now. My producer just sent it to me. It got to 623. So
yeah, I mean, I'm still frustrated. $2,600 is not a small sum of money just to go open a brand new card. I mean, truthfully, Joseph is the type of person that might want to freeze his credit and give himself a little friction to being able to open up credit cards so freely, because it ought to be something that you measure twice on, cut once, and it just to roll right into, hey, I got close to paying this one off, and I felt like it was time, I guess, to meet our goal. I'll go open up a new one. He was trying to catch us on a technicality in some degrees, but since he didn't even hit the savings goal, I don't think it matters.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, he sent a note with his new screenshot right now. Combined, they're over $1,000, and by combining, he's talking about his checking account, which of course he's using that bills in and out. That's just what's sitting there right now, so I'm not counting that towards his savings. This was supposed to be his 1 month emergency fund, and he says, I just have the IRS to pay, in quotation, $400, which I don't know if he got on a monthly payment or what, but he said, and I'm keeping $100 so I don't catch a fee, except I used $2.12 to expand my Google Drive storage. That was the note he just sent. So,
well, I want to give him credit. He made progress. He did make some progress. He got a credit card paid down. He didn't go buy ridiculous stuff, but there's still a behavioral aspect there, I think, that's missing that he's going to have to figure out if he really wants to change his outcome in life.
But it is a binary decision. He didn't reach the two objectives.
He did not.
I mean, you don't get sales goals, you don't get certifications just for the participation trophy. It actually has to have the goal and objective reached.
Only Evel Knievel gets paid for the effort.
Next clip. So $1,368 is what's on there. What is it actually, though? What's the real number?
There's another $1,800 sitting in my Mercy.
What are we purchasing extra money on a card that we're probably trying to pay off?
I mean, ideally, we'd like to pay everything off.
$2,900 on this thing. Okay, again, this went up. We've made no payment on the city. We made $258 of purchases, bringing it from $4,752 to $5,039.
I know, and that's so sad because
late fee of $29, $60 of payments, and then $195 of purchases. You guys are killing yourselves with this. $30 of fees and $83.09 of interest you're losing on this. So angry. That's our debt, right?
No.
That is scary.
Okay, the big one that we've had since September of last year was our rings. We financed our wedding rings.
That's right. So what is the car?
2022 Grand Cherokee L Overland.
Oh no.
What's owed on it currently?
$57,891. And then I drive a 2018 Kia Stinger.
What's owed on that?
I believe it's $26,850.
You guys are killing yourselves. What's this Apple thing?
Oh, we have an Apple credit card.
We haven't talked about it yet, have we?
Oh.
No.
Okay.
The balance is $7,988. We're just financially illiterate, I would say.
Goodness gracious.
Financial illiterate. That's like the most classic American statement I have learned throughout these. It's not
financially illiterate. It's stupid. That's all it is. You're taking financial illiteracy to like a new definition I didn't even know existed.
That's not the Christmas spirit, Graham.
It's very gluttonous. I mean, everything that they showed, like those were nice cars. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're living their best life in a very small moment, and then they're going to spend decades paying a price. It's a lot less nice than that life that they're currently living.
I mean, they certainly have a lot of unsecured debt, but at least the secured debt, these two automobiles, I would think immediately tomorrow, sell the cars for whatever you can, get out of that debt and buy something less expensive, because there is no reason for where they are to have a $57,000 car loan and a $27,000 car loan. That's just crazy. That's insane. This is something where they need to okay, we have to get away from these assets that are literally drowning us in the pool of debt and figure out something else they can do and figure out somewhere they can attack all the other debts that they have.
And they walked into the studio that day with a newborn child they have, and they have to pay off all this debt. I always talk about the moral responsibility of taking care of your as a parent, so your kid doesn't feel morally responsible to take care of you when you're older, and that they are not in a good start.
And they finance their wedding rings too. I mean, what a way to start a marriage. It's like, hey, let's go into debt on these rings that we probably could have picked up for a tenth of the price. Now, I don't know how much they spent on that, but it's probably way too much. Because they love
not
each
enough
other.
To need to go, you should, not enough to have to go into debt for it. That's not a requirement in order to get married.
You know how people have a gag reflex to seeing certain things? I don't understand why more people don't have a debt reflex where they see stuff and they go, because I mean, how do you do this life and sleep at night? I mean, I couldn't sleep. I would.
I have a gag reflex to seeing newborn children because they're stinky and sticky, but I hope it doesn't grow up with a lot of debt, even though it stole my highlighter. Hey guys, so for my brokerage outside of my traditional retirement accounts, when I'm doing my single stock picks and just overall brokerage moves, I've switched over to Moomoo. And they're actually upping their bonus from $400 to up to $5,000 when you transfer over to Moomoo using my link in the description below. I've been using them for a few months now before I recommended them because I just want to make sure I'm recommending the best platform possible. And honestly, I've kind of fallen in love with using it. And the best part is when you deposit money into your Moomoo account and you're not ready to invest yet, you get 5.1% on your money. So it's a pretty incredible platform to try. So feel free to try it in the link below.
That's what we're going to focus on.
It's the important stuff. Next clip. One more.
All right.
Now we'll leave it there.
Oh, no. Come on. We need one more. It's the third one.
Why are you making me watch started? This? You should not go out with me if I'm an Ohio State fan. I do not like Ohio State because I'm from Michigan. So
never be Ohio State. Okay. I don't know if that's a good first message, but...
Well, I responded to her prompt, though.
Okay. They're seriously the worst. They're so gross. I'm glad there's not as many down here. I didn't go to University of Michigan, but as a Michigander, ew.
Yeah, they're gross.
And then you sent the double text.
I'm a double texter. I'm a triple texter.
That's true.
I'm a mountain send full stream.
All right.
Guns a-blazing texter.
How's your weekend going so far? My friend's parents' house. Okay. Oh no, that's terrible. My weekend was pretty good. Very light conversation. Okay. So you went from okay, so good conversation, but there's nothing that I see here that's like it seems more like a friendly conversation, kind of back like pen pals. This is good. How long have you been in Texas? I've been here for 5 years, but yeah, very hot. Still much prefer winters up there. Fair enough. That's really cool. Yeah. What brings you on here? What do you mean? What brings you on here? She's single.
But
how is she?
She might be single. Wanting hookups. I don't know. You don't know.
What brings you on here? That's
maybe she's not.
That's a dumb question. What brings you on here? I'm bored of TikTok. No, she wants to meet someone. Like,
yeah, but you don't know if she's diddling or dating.
It's a lame question. So then you follow up again, another double text. So like you're stacking these points against you right now.
This is very embarrassing.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? This is how you teach people with personal finance, and this is how I will teach you not to send these messages.
You are the one with the fiance.
So I am going to work on behalf of everyone you've had on the show that you have reamed into, and this is my one chance where I could ream into you for this, because your finances, they're not bad. They're decent relative to how much you're doing. So you're fine. So this is my chance to shine here, okay?
Shine away.
You're just incredibly gorgeous, so I just... No! Come on.
What?
So,
what's wrong with gorgeous?
Are you not interested? You're just so gorgeous. So I just... No! Come on.
Kill me. This is terrible.
Right? That's what she's thinking.
Why do I need this job?
I would be so down to go back and do a whole video just reviewing your messages. That's it. We get rid of the finance part. Let's just go through Tinder, Bumble, whatever you have, Hinge, doesn't matter. Let's review these.
I do have some good news. No, the good news is it was like a month and a half ago now. At a fish shop, I asked a girl out. Complimented her classes. It wasn't a great pickup line, but I asked the girl out, got her number. We've been going on dates like every day, every other day since then. But I haven't even opened Hinge or Tinder or Bumble in like a month and a half.
At a fish store too. That's so cool.
Yeah. She was getting some shrimp. I was getting a puffer fish.
You're getting some shrimp. That's the most romantic thing. Reminds me of what is it? What's that movie with Rob Schneider? Deuce Bigelow?
I don't know that one. Now, one more clip to go.
Okay, so the Great Wolf Lodge thing, that's because I've had 2 kids begging me to go.
I don't care if they're begging.
I will say...
Do you give it to a kid that cries in the grocery store every single time they want a candy bar?
The big part with money with kids specifically are kids that have money trauma. So, like, there are kids that grow up that are scared of money.
Yeah.
And... from like constantly being told that they don't have money. And then there's kids that are obviously with money because they've always had too much money. So there's both drastic ways. The boys came from a hoarding situation.
Hoarding within the house?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
So we were eating out all the time. And my grandma, I don't know if she's going to watch this. She's sort of an enabler. So we would go to Carter's every Tuesday because Carter's was half off. Carter's was no longer half off when I'm paying for absolutely everybody to go. And I get nervous about buying them used clothes because they're kids.
What?
Also, Goodwill prices suck. So to clarify...
that was an example. There's garage sales and there's a lot of stuff. I'm not even saying you have to do that yet, Salvation Army. But they're kids.
Yeah, I know.
And they're not even in like that area where like... people start caring about fashion in like middle school and high school. Yeah, they're in elementary school.
It's if they I don't know how to explain it. I think it's just one of those things that like they don't deserve this. The least I can do is get them a nice outfit. That is clean.
Don't think about it like that. It's not about deserve. You're in a loving spirit, and that's why, it's hitting you emotionally. And I love that. I can respect that, and I do respect it. And I love that about you. That's a great personality trait. But I promise you, it's not about deserve. It's not about deserve when it comes to that. That one's hard. So, gosh, she is an incredibly brave, mature, hard-working person. I'm so glad we were able to have her story on the show, and I'm actually excited to say that we will be recording an update early next year as well. But I know she's putting everything, sacrificing everything right now to pay off her debts, get into a better situation. And with that, she isn't able to give the gifts to her brothers and the kids she takes care of. So we just wanted to do something special, and she already knows this. I got on the phone with her a few days ago, giving $1,000 to her to make sure that she can have a Christmas for all the kids surrounding her. They're able to, have the meals, have the gifts, be able to enjoy the holidays together. And I really hope that, that's what I want every guest to be able to do on the show at some point. And right now it's a sacrifice. It's the hard temporary sacrifice for the better life. And that's what this show's about. And I hope that makes their holidays brighter. And if there's anyone that you can help support, not enable, but help support. And that's what I know that we're doing with her. Definitely feel free. Remember, it's a giving season. But yeah, it was a hard situation, and I'm happy we could help, at least in the slightest amount. Okay. But either way, I want to thank you all so much for an amazing 2023. This is the first full year that we've been uploading episodes here on YouTube, and we could not have done any of this without you. Any of this. So thanks to you. This is the full team as of now. It's me, these 3 people. We just hired one more person. We're going to be bringing on more people, and it's all thanks to you and your support that you have brought to this channel. Going into 2024, all of us here are going to work to create the best content possible and deliver it to you every single week. And again, it's all thanks to your support. You have no idea how much it means to me, how much it means to us. We love you all so much from the bottom of my heart, and I cannot wait to see you all in 2024. Thank you.